Good evening, everybody. I would like to call tonight's Sophia Travis Grant Committee meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, May 13th. I want to know for the record, we have all except for Councilmember Trent Decker that is here. But I'm going to have, this is one of the favorite parts. Everybody talks about the most wonderful time of the year, which is this part. Before we get started, there's some new faces that are here, and I'd like to introduce our folks that are up here that are part of the committee. So, committee team, thank you very much. If you would like to start, and I'll start down here first and just say your name and how long you've been on the committee.
Hello, my name is Liz Feidel. I'm County Counsel at Large, and I've been on this committee. This is my second year, so it's only been 6 months since we've been here because we rearranged the time, but it's my second year. I'm happy to be here and hear all of you tonight.
Good evening. My name is Katie Hopkins, and I've been on this committee for 2 months, 3 months. I'm the newbie.
I'm also Jennifer Crossley. I've been on council for 5 years, and each of those 5 years, I've been very fortunate and blessed to be a part of Sophia Travis Grant Committee.
Hi, Robertson. This is my second year being part of the Sophia Travis Grant Committee, and I'm really looking forward to getting this year started. Thank you.
Great. So it's the moment that you all have been waiting for. Don't be nervous. You can all take a deep breath. There's no questions that will be asked of us. All of y'all will have 3 minutes to present your case. And for those that are not the newbies, welcome back. Just to let you all know, has everybody had a chance to sign in? I believe so. Maybe not. Okay. So Michelle, I think maybe. Oh, okay. It's back there. Okay.
I have copies. She's keeping the original.
Perfect.
She'll update it as they.
Oh, this is awesome. Okay, look at us, go team go. Okay, so if you have not signed in already, you can see Miss Lehua that is in the back. Hello, and she will help you get all signed in. All right, and so next up, I'd ask for our vice chair, Miss Julie, to go ahead and start.
Sure. I'd like to welcome all the applicants today to tonight's Sophia Travis Grant applicant presentation. If you have not already, please everybody sign in. I see some people coming in through the back, so please be sure to sign into the sheet. I'd like to say that the agencies, in order to be eligible for the Sophia Travis Grant, all agencies must be a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. Grants in these primary areas that are eligible for support, and that would include food, nutrition, security, shelter, and health, transportation assistance, climate change, emergency shortages, first responders, veterans assistance, excellence in government, youth enrichment opportunities. The evaluation of the criteria of the applications, we ask that the completion of all required reports from the previous Sophia Travis Grant Cycle Awards. We'd like to have those done and sent to us if you've received a Sophia Travis Grant in the past. The projects that you are going to present tonight, they must be primarily for Monroe County residents. The extent to which the dollar amount sought to accomplish the stated goals of the projects, we need to know like how much. And the extent to which the funds sought will leverage additional funds or assistance.
Okay.
I think we're ready for Jennifer.
Yay, okay. So again, everybody it's no different from year after year, but again, for our first time folks that are just joining in, everybody should have received the guidelines on how the presentations today will work. Did everybody receive those? Heads, okay, I see thumbs up and heads nodding, so cool. Okay, so again, as I mentioned before, each person will have 3 minutes. Again, if you are virtually as well, you will also be presenting with 3 minutes. TSD will have the timers on the TV monitors, and then for those in Teamland, you'll see it in your virtual world there. So you'll have up to 3 minutes to speak, and then once you are winding down on your presentation, you'll have a 30-second flash that will happen. Oh, they are displaying that for you already, so you can see that there. And then after you are done, you can just, and that's it. Again, as I mentioned before, there is no questions. So 3 minutes is your time to shine and let us know why you are here and what you are seeking. And that's it. All right.
Excuse me, do you want us to do a 30-second bell?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So just as people can know to wrap it up, because as they're paying attention to us, they might not be able to see the monitors.
So you'll hear this little ding right here,
Yay.
okay?
Sounds very fun and festive. All right. And so since everybody knows their order of presentation, you can just start to just roll on up after the next person is wrapping up, so you can have a seat here on the bench here. But again, all of our presentations that are here, again, you just go ahead and start. And it looks like first up on our presentation list is Hoosier Trails Council.
Good afternoon. My name is Rod Cates. I'm here representing Hoosier Trails Council, Scouting America. I want to thank you for your time, and since my time is short, I want to get started right away. The application I submitted requests funding to help us establish a Cub Scout pack here in Monroe County. With the Cub Scout program comes many benefits. I want to focus on those real quick and tell you that they are benefits associated with youth development, family engagement, and community impact. Let's start with youth development. First of all, this program builds confidence, leadership, teamwork skills through fun and engaging activities. The Scouts will be encouraged to have work on healthy lifestyles and outdoor exploration. It supports character development through the Scout Oath and our law, which is on our application. Promotes STEM learning, creativity, and problem solving. Teaches Scouts to set goals, put in the time to reach them, and be rewarded for having done so. And finally, provides a safe and positive environment for friendship and growth. Now, family engagement is equally important. As a family program, it creates opportunities for quality family time. We all need time with our families. And it encourages parent involvement in those activities and adventures these Scouts are taking. It strengthens communication and shared experiences, resulting in being supportive relationships among families in our community. And finally, it helps parents provide opportunities to model positive values and leadership. Finally, Cub Scouts participate in service projects that improve neighborhoods and local areas. They also develop future leaders committed to community service. They will learn citizenship, responsibility, and helping others. It strengthens partnerships with our schools and our organizations in our community. And the communities benefit from engaged, respectful, and service-minded youth. Speaking of service-minded youth, I have a Cub Scout pack down at Lakeview Elementary here in Bloomington. They do something called Get Out and Scout. For the second year in a row, a group returned from their Scouts to a local cemetery for a meaningful headstone restoration project. Armed with water, soap, brushes, the Scouts worked in pairs to scrub away years of built-up dirt and grime. The kids loved the hands-on task, finding it both challenging and deeply satisfying to see the immediate transformation of the stones. This service project teaches the importance of honoring local history and respecting those who came before us. It's become a proud annual tradition for that pack, and they have plans to do it again this year. I'm here to request $4,500 to help us establish a Cub Scout pack that we can benefit families, youth, and have a community impact with leadership in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Look at that. Everybody giving support. I love it. All right. Next up is Susie's Place.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Pratt. I am one of the forensic interviewers with Susie's Place Child Advocacy Center. We are a nonprofit organization that works with children who have been the victims of abuse or neglect. This includes sex abuse, physical abuse, witness to violence, neglect, or other types of crimes involving children. We work in coordination with law enforcement, local prosecutor's office, DCS, and medical to provide services in response to these children who are the victims of violence. Susie's Place has recently launched an internship program, and we're asking for $5,000 that would go towards both the master's level intern that would come to our center to work with the families to provide advocacy services and support. And then it would go towards the oversight that's required for a master's level social work intern. Susie's Place has 3 locations, Terre Haute, Avon, and Bloomington, and Bloomington is by far one of our busiest and most impactful centers that we see. They have the highest numbers and some of the worst crimes that happens to children out of all of our Susie's Place locations. Having additional master's level intern at our center would not only create a connection with the social work programs for folks that are wanting to go into that social work field and get that experience and ability to work with kids, but it also provides us the ability to have more hands-on direct service to the children and families that we see. They would be doing things like helping schedule medical exams for emergency acutes. They would contact families and connect them with services to the community in Monroe County. And just be there as that support as they navigate the criminal justice system. I also want to say thank you. You guys have given us money before for a medical suite. It's done so much for the kids that we see. So I do want to end with that. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we had Tandem, but is there a member of Tandem? And they're not online as well. So we have artist adjacent, and then followed by CASA.
Hi, everybody. My name is Susan Hingle, also known as Gus. Thank you all. Okay. In Monroe County, young people face real barriers to participating in live music, not because of lack of talent, but because of most venues are age restricted, costly, and not designed for substance-free participation. Artist Adjacent was created to address that gap by building inclusive, all-ages music experiences where youth and adults create together. As I said, my name is Gus, and I'm the founder and executive director of Artist Adjacent Incorporated. The proposed project is a multi-generational, all-ages live music performance series. Youth ages 13 to 20 are often limited to rehearsals or classroom practices with few chances to perform for a real audience. At the same time, many adults are seeking more meaningful, community-centered ways to engage with live music. This project meets both needs by creating accessible, substance-free events that invite young people and adults into shared creative space as performers, collaborators, and leaders. Each event pairs youth performers and experienced adult artist mentors. Youth participate not only on stage, but throughout the production process, taking on roles such as management, promotion, photography, sound, lighting, and coordination. Events are planned through facilitated co-design sessions, giving youth real creative decision-making power while being supported by artists who model professional practice and ensure safety and accessibility. Sophia Travis grant funds would directly support program and performance costs, including artist and mentor stipends, venue rental, liability insurance, and promotion. These funds are intentionally focused on fair compensation and removing financial barriers so youth can fully participate. We evaluate impact through participation data, attendance, youth roles, surveys, and post-event reflection sessions. This allows us to refine a reproducible model that supports long-term sustainability and continued community engagement. This project is about equity, access, and visibility, ensuring young artists are not just present in Bloomington's art ecosystem, but actively shaping it alongside adults. Thank you for your time and for supporting opportunities that allow young people to participate as creators, collaborators, and leaders.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lynn Card, and this is Beth Kraus, and we're from Monroe County CASA. Thank you so much for the opportunity for us to present to you tonight. Both Beth and I have completed the trainers program of Stop It Now, which is to deliver to the community the Circle of Safety program. As reflected in the grant, Stop It Now is a national leader in sexual abuse prevention. The Circles of Safety program is evidence-based and empowers participants as active agents in prevention by giving them skills to identify risks and build skills to protect children before harm occurs. For those of us at CASA, we see the back end of the trauma from sexual abuse and the major impact on the kids and the families. We get the fact as our trained and supported volunteers are representing the best interests of the kids from our community that are now involved with the Department of Child Services. Our work is to make sure kids are getting to safe, permanent homes as quickly as possible, whether that be back with family or in another setting. What we hope to do going forward is lend a hand to this community to prevent kids from becoming victims of sexual abuse and to build a safe, protective community. Circles of Safety training is an intensive 6 hours of programming designed to build skills and improve protective factors in our community. Our program also utilizes pre- and post-training testing to ensure that learning is happening and that we can truly gauge this change. We address some stats in our application, but would also like to share that nationally, 28% of teenagers are victims of sex abuse, either in person or online. If you consider that Monroe County has approximately 10,000 kids of teenage years, that would mean 2,800 of our children are victims. Already in 2026, there have been 60 reports of child sex abuse in Monroe County, with 7 of those reports having enough evidence to support substantiations. We are asking in the amount of $2,522.94 in order to deliver programming to recognize risks, respond effectively, and protect children.
Thank you. Do we have somebody from Girls Rock? Okay, hello. Hey.
Reset the timer, please.
Great. Hi, I'm Carrie Albright. I'm an outreach coordinator and volunteer for Girls Rock Bloomington. The mission of Girls Rock Bloomington is to empower girls, transgender, non-binary, and gender-expansive youth through music education, after-school programming, workshops, an annual summer camp, and positive mentorship. In real terms, GRB is a safe, creative space for young people to find comfort through music, collaboration, and self-expression. Bloomington's long been known as a mecca for creators, from the Lotus World Music and Arts Festival and various ongoing performance series and venues to a number of recording studios and record labels rooted in our community. We know Monroe County serves and supports the magic that comes with musical creativity. Girls Rock Bloomington offers a unique opportunity within this umbrella in that not only does it specifically serve young people, and we're talking third graders, middle schoolers, even some high school age youth, but it's built around the understanding that historically, opportunities have not been offered equally to everyone. Through GRB, campers experience creative expression, acceptance, and encouragement, and growth in a safe and inclusive environment that welcomes all underserved identities. Through our BIPOC Community Fund, no questions asked opportunities are available to youth who've been historically underrepresented or undersupported. The role of music in our nonprofit is an intentional central focus. According to the American Psychiatric Association, music supports emotional regulation and expression, stress and anxiety reduction, self-discovery and identity, and social connection and belonging. And as our society continues to navigate the mental health crisis, Girls Rock offers programming intentionally built for girls and trans, non-binary, and gender-expansive youth to participate in activities geared towards strengthening their own well-being. According to the Trevor Project, LGBTQ youth representing depressive symptoms climbed from 48% in 2023 to 54% in 2025. During that same period, suicidal ideation in LGBTQ plus youth grew from 41% to 47%. Transgender and non-binary youth reported the poorest mental health outcomes and represented the highest risk for suicide. Mental health support must be a community-level effort. Girls Rock takes this role very seriously and demonstrates our commitment to this issue through our programs. In the last 5 years, we've doubled from a summer camp of 25 campers to over 50 for this upcoming summer. The GRB community keeps growing, and as we watch campers age out of the program, we see them leaving with renewed and reinforced senses of self and possibility. Girls Rock's more than just an opportunity for young people to make music together. Yes, it is that, but at its core, Girls Rock is a community, a space, a safe place where you're accepted and celebrated, however and whoever you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then followed by the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not certain if Pathways is here, but if Pathways isn't, then it's First Christian Church. Go ahead. Then we'll wait for the timer to restart.
All right, thank you, Sophia Travis Committee, for your consideration and all the impactful community initiatives throughout Monroe County that you support. I'm Christopher Emge from the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce Foundation. Our successful program, or the Feel Good portion of the Chamber. The Success School serves as a bridge between the business community and K-12 local education agencies, creating real-world learning opportunities that help students understand careers, workplace expectations, opportunities available right here in Monroe County. Today, this Success School facilitates 33 programs events annually, more than 4,300 student interactions, engagement with over 600 volunteers from the business community, and we partner directly with both MCCSC and RBB. Career Cruise has become the culmination of all the work that the Success School does. Throughout the school year, students are exposed to entrepreneurship, financial literacy, soft skills, career awareness, workplace learning opportunities. The Career Cruise brings all of those together in one large-scale hands-on experience with over 50 local businesses interacting with approximately 1,200 students in 7th and 8th grade from across the county. What makes Career Cruise unique is it's not passive seminar or a lecture. Students rotate through a themed port to call with their passport in hand, engaging directly with employers through a guided conversation, hands-on activities that make career exploration approachable and memorable. The event also creates meaningful value for participating businesses and volunteers. They look forward to this every year. Employers consistently tell us that they enjoy the opportunity to engage with students at this age level. It strengthens their connections to the community, reinforces pride in the workplace, creates a meaningful employee volunteer experience, and supports morale and retention within the workplace. Now, recent changes within Indiana's diploma requirements place a much larger emphasis on work-based learning, internships, apprenticeships, and career connect experience. The Career Cruise serves as a part of that continuum as an opportunity for that early entry port to the pipeline, helping students understand the opportunities available to them before they start making big decisions with high school pathways and future careers. Now, the $4,000 Sophia Travis grant helps us continue scaling this effort by supporting infrastructure needed to host an event this large of magnitude. This includes venue costs, event setup, student engagement materials, immersive learning environment to get that seafaring look that we all like, and helps make that experience effective and memorable. Most importantly, Career Cruise reinforces the message we believe is critical to Monroe County's future. Meaningful careers are here. There are opportunities here. There's a future here for young people in our community to stay, or if they do leave, to come back. So thank you for your consideration and continued support for youth enrichment opportunities in Monroe County.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. I'm Katie Broadfoot. I'm the Executive Director at Pathways. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to share more about Pathways and our My First Library program. And I know you've seen our application, so you know that our request is for books for this My First Library program, but I want to use this time to acknowledge something really important, and that is that while this program is centered on books and early literacy, what I'm really talking about tonight is something a lot bigger than that. I'm talking about how opportunity begins. At Pathways, we serve families who are doing a lot of things right. They're working, they're showing up, they're trying to build stable lives. But a lot of them are caught in that weird income range in between where social services cut off and true self-sufficiency begins. And for many of the children that are in our care, access to books is not a given. It's not a small gap either, it's a foundational one. And that's where My First Library comes in. Each month, a child at our Compass Early Learning Center doesn't just receive a book. They experience someone sitting down with them to read that book to them, to show them that stories matter, that they matter. And then they get to take that book home, often becoming one of the only books in that entire household. What happens next, though, is where the real impact is. The book becomes a nightly routine for that family. It becomes a moment of connection between child and parent, and it becomes practice of language, of vocabulary, of imagination. All of those things compound and build quietly over time, and those small, consistent moments, that is exactly what research and experience tells us lead to things like school readiness, confidence, and long-term success. And I want to be clear about something else too. Pathways as an organization is deeply aligned with the priorities that this committee cares about, even though this request seems like it's just about books. Every day, through the Compass Early Learning Center and our Family Resource Center, we are advancing early learning, we're strengthening families, and we're supporting long-term economic mobility for local families. My First Library is how we go further with that. It's not the only thing we do, and in fact, it's just a small thing that we do, but it's one of the many ways that we're ensuring we're not just meeting basic standards, we're creating a meaningful, lasting impact. For the past 3 years, this program has been sustained through partnership and generosity, but as costs have risen, we've reached a point where continuing at the same level requires additional support, and that is what our request is for, to be able to continue and sustain at the quality level that we believe is very important for our children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. Hello. My name is Matt Gargiulo, and I serve as an associate pastor at First Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. For 2 centuries, First Christian Church has served as a welcoming presence at the corner of Kirkwood and Washington, downtown Bloomington. Our location, right by the Monroe County Public Library downtown, is in many unhoused neighbors, places us, we believe, right at the center of the community's response to homelessness, food insecurity, and social isolation. We have a weekly welcome table breakfast every Sunday morning from 8 to 9:30 in the morning. It is, we believe that it is one of the most consistent ministries that we have, and appreciate your partnership in the past and ask for that again, to provide dependable nourishment during a time on Sunday mornings when few other food resources are available. Every Sunday morning at First Christian Church, we welcome between 100 and 125 neighbors, most of whom are unhoused and experiencing a combination of food insecurity, to the welcome table breakfast in our Great Hall. And the meal meets the immediate physical needs while offering hospitality, compassion, and connections to community resources. And we have a team of up to 30 volunteers on a rotation that prepare and serve a free breakfast. We have, it's a simple continental breakfast with milk, juice, cereal, fruit, coffee, and hard-boiled eggs as our protein source. And many guests arrive carrying their belongings after sleeping outside or in temporary shelter. Others are seniors on fixed incomes or individuals that live on this economic margins, or just neighbors navigating mental health challenges. Often it's a combination of all of the above. Regardless of the circumstance, every person is welcomed with dignity and warmth. And regardless of circumstances, we want to make sure that that is true. Because we've learned that many of our neighbors do not have other options for meal programs on Sundays, we also have added to-go lunch sacks that have a simple sandwich that ensure guests have food for the remainder of the day. And we believe that the Sophia Travis Community Services Grant aligns directly with the Welcome Table's focus on food security, nutrition, and shelter and health. Rising grocery costs and increased community need, we've had up to 180 in the past year on a given week. really on top of the increased grocery costs for our protein source in particular, really require more financial resources at a time that also our number of guests continue to grow. So a grant of $7,500 will support the purchase of these core food items on a weekly basis that make up the majority of what we do. Support from the Sophia Travis Community Services Grant, it strengthens our ability to continue to be this reliable neighbor and presence in our community. It ensures that hundreds of Bloomington residents, and many facing daily uncertainty, can rely, Sunday mornings continue to be a place that they're fed, respected, and reminded that they're not alone. And appreciate your opportunity to partner to provide that welcoming presence for our neighbors.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Devin May. I am one of the founders and executive directors of Blooming Arts Theater Company, and I thank you for the opportunity to share our mission today. Blooming Arts was created to inspire and empower the next generation of performers through exceptional pre-professional musical theater training and performance opportunities for youth in the greater Bloomington area. Our mission is to give passionate young performers the kind of rigorous, collaborative, and creative challenging experiences that prepare them not only for college theater programs and professional careers, but for all aspects in life. Through theater, students build confidence, discipline, leadership, empathy, and the ability to work as part of a team. We launched our first programming in June of 2025 at the IU Theater Building with a workshop called Ace the Audition. Students learned foundational audition skills, received professional headshots, and participated in master classes with industry professionals. We followed that up with Curtains Up Broadway-bound cabaret, an immersive week-long intensive that culminated in a public performance. Last fall, we coached 2 local high schoolers through their college auditions, and both were accepted into highly competitive musical theater BFA programs. This summer marks an exciting milestone for us as we produce our first fully staged musical, Once Upon a Mattress, at the Buskirk Chumley Theater. Students aged 13 through 19 will participate in a 4-week conservatory-style rehearsal process led entirely by professional directors, choreographers, designers, music directors, and stage managers with decades of industry experience. What makes Blooming Arts special is our commitment to accessibility. While our programs are tuition-based, every student who requests scholarship assistance receives it. For this summer's production alone, we have provided over $3,500 in scholarship support because we believe financial circumstances should not prevent young artists from pursuing their passions. Donors and sponsors play a critical role in making that commitment possible. Every individual donor is acknowledged in our printed program. Major donors and grant funders are recognized in curtain speeches at each performance and receive complimentary tickets to the production. We want our supporters to know that they are truly part of the impact that these students are experiencing. Blooming Arts is about more than just putting on a show. It's about creating a space where young people feel challenged, supported, and inspired, where they can discover their artistic voices, develop professional skills, and experience the transformative power of the arts. Thank you very much for your consideration. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Teresa Kang. I'm the president of Pathways to Cross-Cultural Understanding, an organization dedicated to promoting cross-cultural awareness through education and community engagement. We provide mentoring workshops, cultural programs, and conferences that help students, educators, and communities develop intercultural understanding and meaningful global connections. Today, I'm excited to introduce Bridging Borders, a visual dialogue on global youth perspectives, a 2-day exhibition and workshop program to be hosted at Monroe County History Center in December. The exhibition will showcase students' creative artwork, writing, and multimedia projects for both from both the United States and South Korea. These work will explore themes such as identity, shared humanity, and historical understanding. Beyond viewing the exhibition, participants will engage in interactive guided hands-on activities that encourage reflection on cultural similarities and differences, while helping them connect global perspectives to their own lived experiences. Funding for this project will primarily support exhibition materials, facility, and equipment rentals, present honorary and travel expenses. Through both in-person and virtual participation, we expect to reach more than 100 students, educators, and community members. This initiative supports youth development by strengthening critical thinking, where young people can better understand and appreciate comprehensive perspectives in our interconnected world. We would greatly appreciate your support in helping bring this meaningful educational experience to our community. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Heather Bland, and I'm the Executive Director of New Leaf New Life. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. And it's also an honor to be here with other people who are doing work in our community. Something that I love about New Leaf New Life is we have so many community partners working together to resolve the issues that are happening in our community and in Monroe County. We are seeking funding for rent support and transportation for our mentees. We saw 3,443 mentees. Our mentees are people who are coming from incarceration, who are coming from substance use treatment, suffering from mental health challenges, or have recently become unhoused. We collaborate with other agencies, but what we're seeking is rent support to help people get connected with sober living. We were able to assist 140 community members with sober living last year. And just to give a little context, in the state of Indiana in 2025, the recidivism rate was 38%. That's up 16% since 2022. Mentees in our program for the last year who have gained housing support from us, the recidivism rate is 5.97. For mentees in our program that have taken part in our resource coordination, such as getting jobs, transportation, the percentage in April was 12.6%. The amount of people we're serving is increasing, and the recidivism rate for our program is decreasing. So that means what we're doing is working. With the rising crises in our community, with now criminalization of being unhoused in July, and uncertainty with what is going to happen with those folks that are in the jail right now, it is crucial that we are able to continue doing what we're doing. This first quarter, we have met almost 2/3 of the amount of mentees that we met in the entire year last year. I'm gonna share a quick story. A woman who was incarcerated, she had nothing left but the breath in her lungs and some hope for something different. Someone asked her, what would you do if there were no barriers in your life? And she said, help people. When she was released to an agency in Bloomington. She got help through New Leaf New Life. Services were coordinated. And 8 years later, I stand in front of you as the executive director of New Leaf New Life. These programs do work. Thank you for your time.
Y'all aren't supposed to make us cry up here, just FYI, please. Okay. All right. Anybody from Girls Inc? Nope. Okay. Next up we got, oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So no Girls Inc. We got Middleway House coming up next, and Hoosiers Feeding the Hungry after that.
All right. Hi, I'm Megan Betts, CEO at Mother Hubbard's Cupboard and one of the partners benefiting from this collaborative proposal. I'm thankful to be here with so many groups who are who will be receiving CPR training.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were with?
I'm with a collaborative proposal that Middleway House put forward. I'm one of they couldn't be here, so I'm presenting a couple of times tonight.
Sure. So, I'm sorry to interrupt. So is
Oh,
this
that's okay.
do you know, is this
The Middleway House Collaborative for CPR training.
Yeah, it's number 14.
Number 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just making sure, like,
Oh.
who is the bond? And
Oh,
I'm
no,
going like,
you're
wait
fine.
a minute.
It's okay. TSD, can we get her to her timer to restart, please?
I apologize.
You're okay. You're okay.
Okay.
All right. Hi. I'm president at Mother Hubbard's Cupboard and one of the partners benefiting from this collaborative proposal. I'm thankful to be here with so many of the groups who would be receiving CPR training alongside us so that we can build a safer community together. Most nonprofit organizations cannot afford to have a CPR instructor on staff or pay to maintain employees' certification. Yet those we serve are often those who with the most significant and complex health needs. This collaborative effort ensures that 10 local nonprofits will have training space and courses that no single agency could maintain on their own. Removing cost as a barrier to safety and community health. CPR B-Town will provide American Heart Association certified CPR and first aid courses to staff and volunteers at the following organizations: Amethyst House, Bloomington Creative Glass Center, Bloomington Montessori School, Lotus, Middleway House, Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, PALS, or Person and Animal Learning Services, Tandem, Wonder Lab, and Windfall Dancers. Each of these agencies plays a vital role in our community, collectively reaching over 50,000 people in Monroe County. By providing this training, you'll help organizations protect their staff, volunteers, and communities each day. I can speak from experience, having been trained through this program twice and having used those skills in our pantry. When a loose dog bit 2 of our staff, they were able to follow steps to sterilize wounds and get to urgent care. When a shopper fell in our parking lot, I was able to gather the appropriate supplies, dispatch other team members to get help, and mitigate a bleeding wound without elevating stress. We are better able to care for each other because of this collaboration. With your support through the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant, we can ensure that every organization has access to life-saving education and that no nonprofit in Monroe County has to choose between funding its mission and keeping its people safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Susie Jordan. I'm the Executive Director at Hoosiers Feeding the Hungry. Our offices are based in DeKalb County, but this partnership and the collaboration that we have applied along with the Monroe 4-H Fair and their program is purely Monroe County, which we're very proud of. Our organization has a presence in over 58 counties. But in the past 3 years since I have taken over, the collaboration with the 4-H Fair here in Monroe County is continuing to grow and prosper. 4 of our partners are going to be presenting to you in some form tonight. Those are the recipient agencies of the work, of the 4-H members and the livestock that they have taken from very small to now market weight and are now donating those animals in for members of your community to have meat protein. So how this works is when the kids have their fair on July 4th, as we're celebrating 250 years, these kids are involved from the start, day in and day out, to raise their animals, where they're cattle, hogs, sheep, goats. Those are all then purchased for the recipient child's fund, but then the businesses that purchase those animals can donate them right back in. Our organization will collaborate with the Sophia Travis Award to make sure that those animals are harvested through rice processing, which is a Monroe County owned business, even though it's not in your county. And then that meat will be processed and then given right back to organizations that serve the various needs, whether it's a food pantry, a meal program, people who are just getting out of incarceration, possibly someone who needs meals, gets their produce and things from the food pantries, but that meat protein is missing. So the children and the families in your own community are producing livestock that will feed your neighbors in need. So this is truly our tagline, which is from farm and field to freezer and fork. Our grant request is for $15,000. That is a very large request, but for that, over 30,000 meals will be available, whether it's with pasta, a hamburger, a chili, spaghetti, all those things we love to have with meat protein. Tonight, together, we can make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody here from Community Kitchen? Oh, okay. And then I think I saw Marilyn from Courage to Change.
Hello, I'm Marilyn, the co-founder executive director of Courage to Change Sober Living. Thank you for letting us be a part of this. We are asking for two different individual things within one grant. The first is Welcome Home backpacks. These kits include a backpack, hygiene supplies, towels, sheets, pillows, and a phone charger. Items when first moving into our residence and take these items with them when they graduate. These items are the most requested by residents when moving into our homes and help to make our folks feel welcome and provide comfort. Meet immediate needs and feel supported by Courage to Change. They promote personal wellness and foster healthy habits, which are very critical. Something as simple as a welcome home kit when first coming to Courage to Change can make a huge difference. Our welcome home kits, which may seem like a small thing to many, makes a big impact on our residents, many of who come to us and their items are in trash bags or they have nothing at all. So it really helps them as far as living in comfort. The other thing we're asking for is drug tests. We are certified by the Indiana Affiliation of Recovery Residences, and not only is drug testing of our residents a requirement of INARR, but also a requirement of Courage to Change for residents who choose to live in sober living environments. Our case managers administer random drug testing to each in our houses. Sober living houses promote recovery by providing structure, accountability, and recovery support services. So random drug screens are a part of this process and a very important part. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Anybody from Harmony? Okay.
Hello, I'm Wes Sturdivant, and I'm a teacher in the high school at Harmony. I teach media arts. At one of our school performances last year, a mostly nonverbal student stepped onto our stage and performed a song from the musical Chicago, and it brought down the house. It was an amazing performance, but what was even more powerful for a lot of us in the audience was that many of the people in that audience, including the students' classmates and faculty at the school, had never heard this student's voice. either singing or speaking. The performance space at Harmony gives every student a place to step up, take the stage, and have their voice be heard. Harmony's been an independent, non-for-profit K-12 school in Bloomington since 1974. Over 76% of our students live right here in Monroe County, and over 45% qualify for free or reduced lunch. But our performance space aren't just for students. They're shared community infrastructure. In the past year, community groups have used Harmony for more than 350 events. We're asking the Sophia Travis Grant Committee to help us complete an audio system upgrade that we've already begun. In the past year, Harmony has invested in new microphones and a modern mixing console. What we need to finish the project is amplified speakers, monitors, and an iPad that sort of acts as a brain and controls the whole thing. This would be a one-time capital investment of about $8,170. It's not needing ongoing operational support, and it would leverage your dollars in 3 ways. Harmony provides the venue, the utilities, and the staff. I'm training the students to use the audio gear and the equipment, which then will serve the school and community events in this space for years to come. Again, that's 20 Harmony events, but over 350 on average community events a year. And it alleviates a cost that our community partners currently absorb when they want to hold an event at Harmony. A recent example, on May 3rd, WFHB hosted its 50th anniversary concert in our gym. But they had to arrange for their own sound equipment because ours wasn't up to the standards that were needed. And this is one of the gaps that this grant could close in our community. Live performance, especially music, is a part of the fabric of Monroe County. Harmony's long been a part of that. You may remember Rhinos, the beloved all-ages music club from the 90s. I know I certainly do. Rhinos gave a generation of Bloomington youth, including me, some of our first live music experiences, either as audience members, production crew members, and performers. And there are live performance venues in town, but very few that aren't 21 and up. With your support, Harmony can keep the tradition of live performance going for the next generation of Monroe County youth. Thanks.
Thank you.
How's that? Hi, everybody. My name is Adam Hamill. I'm the Director of Community Engagement at Stonebelt, where it is our mission, in partnership with the community, to prepare, empower, and support adults with developmental disabilities and their families to participate fully in the life of the community. Stonebelt started in 1959, before children with disabilities were afforded a free and public education. That was 9 families who were just trying to do something better for their children than what was currently being offered, which was either institutionalization or having to stay at home. Now we provide supports to over 1,300 people throughout South Central Indiana and have about 450 staff through Bedford, Columbus, and Bloomington. Around 350 of those staff members reside and work here in Bloomington. And while day-to-day we are helping people to build individual living skills, we also have to focus on the health and safety of the individuals we support. So individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities experience significantly higher rates of chronic health conditions, including epilepsy, respiratory issues, cardiovascular conditions, and mobility limitations than those who are neurotypical. Many also have communication challenges that make it difficult to report symptoms or seek help during a medical crisis. As a result, emergencies such as choking, seizures, cardiac events, or injuries can quickly escalate without immediate and properly trained intervention. Direct support professionals, or DSPs, are often the first and in many cases the only responders in these situations. At Stonebelt, staff provide care in homes, workplaces, community settings where emergency medical services may not be immediately available. The ability of staff to recognize symptoms, respond quickly, and administer CPR or first aid is critical to preventing serious injury or loss of life. The state of Indiana requires CPR and first aid certification for all Stonebelt staff. While Stonebelt is funded primarily through Medicaid reimbursement, about 95% of our funding comes from that. All of that is for direct reimbursement of support services that we are providing that then goes back to paying our staff. We do not get reimbursed for any training, and we have to use the funding that we have to provide that training and purchase the certification and the equipment in order to provide that. So without external funding, these necessary expenses must be absorbed by the organization, placing strain on limited resources intended for direct supports. The initiative that we are requesting from the Sophia Travis Grant Commission is to address that gap by ensuring that all new staff are properly trained before working directly with the individuals they will support, and that current staff maintain their American Heart Association First Aid CPR certification. Thank you very much.
Thank you, council members, for your time tonight. I'm Dason Anderson. I'm the executive editor of Limestone Post magazine. This is Emily Reynolds and Noelle, her husky Schneider, our marketing and development team. Limestone Media publishes Limestone Post, which is an independent nonprofit magazine and an organization created to inform residents in Bloomington and the surrounding communities about the interests and concerns that affect them. Our mission is to serve our community through thoughtful, in-depth journalism and cultural storytelling, thereby helping readers to understand the issues shaping our region and the solutions emerging to address them. We are committed to journalistic integrity, transparency, and literary excellence. Our motto is to inform, engage, and inspire. Our contributors are local writers, photographers, and videographers who represent and reveal our community's ethnic, social, and cultural diversity. And all of our content is free online forever at limestonepost.org. Over the 12-month grant period, Limestone Post proposes to research, write, and publish 4 in-depth articles about how the actions of Monroe County's government, businesses, and citizens are impacting our environment, both locally and globally. The purpose of these articles is to inform local citizens about the issues our community is facing with regard to climate change, to showcase what's being done about these issues, and to encourage greater citizen participation in the process as the impact of climate change becomes more significant over time. We're requesting $1,400 in funding from this community service grant to produce 4 stories. 2 of these stories will focus on local eco-villages, intentional communities, organic gardens, places like the Farm Stop, Bethel Lane Farm Stop, and the Farm Stop that facilitate local commerce and sustainable practices with environmentally friendly models. Another story will focus on climate change issues in Monroe County, placed within a state, national, and even global context. We will explore climate change planning within and throughout Monroe County, measuring effectiveness in reducing greenhouse gases, which met the 2025 goal of reduction by 28%, and identifying initiatives and strategies implemented by local governments, businesses, and citizens. And lastly, the final story we'll be sharing 3 to 5 examples of projects or activities that government, businesses, or individuals are doing to mitigate the impact of climate change locally, including farmer assistance programs, improving stormwater infrastructure, and extreme weather preparedness programs, improving Sorry, that threw me off. This article will describe what still needs to be done and highlight additional ways that government, businesses, and individuals can create a thriving, eco-friendly environment in Monroe County. Additionally, we will supplement the $1,400 with funding from within to promote these stories on social media, in our newsletter, and in other media platforms. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Wendy Druckmiller, and I am the Grants and Impact Director for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington. This year, the club is requesting funding to support the provision of summer field trips and experiential learning opportunities for club members at the Ellettsville, Ferguson, Crestmont, and Lincoln Street clubs. The proposed project will benefit an estimated 225 youths ages 5 to 18 in Monroe County who will attend full-day summer programming in 2026. Grant funds, if awarded, will go towards costs associated with outsourced transportation, fuel and vehicle maintenance, admission and ticket fees, staff support to maintain a smaller 1-to-8 ratio while in the community, and water and healthy snack options while members are away from the club. Field trips are an essential component of the summer camp experience, offering the opportunity for members to get outdoors, explore their community, boost levels of confidence and independence, develop new skills, and participate in hands-on learning, which has been shown to improve future academic outcomes. In fact, research shows that students who participate in field trips have higher test scores, perform better in class, and have increased cultural conscientiousness over time. Field trips also bolster critical thinking skills by allowing students to touch, feel, and listen, which promotes higher levels of engagement and understanding of the topics being studied. Importantly, by offering experiential learning opportunities to summer camp attendees, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington is able to help level the playing field by giving financially in need youth equal opportunities to experience things outside the classroom that their families may not be able to afford. This is in alignment with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America's national vision to ensure that who you are, where you come from, or the circumstances that surround you don't determine your access to experiences or opportunities. Certainly, many of the families utilizing clubs for after-school programs face significant barriers to accessing quality childcare during the summer months. In 2025, over 500 households we serve reported annual incomes of $40,000 or less. Nearly 1,100 members qualified for free or reduced price lunch, and over 800 members lived in single-parent households. In addition to this, a recent survey of Indiana families found that 88% of households consider childcare to be too expensive, and 35% cannot afford it at all. In an effort to keep the clubs as accessible as possible, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington charges a nominal $20 annual membership fee and offers scholarship options for families who cannot afford to pay the full cost of summer or break day camps, including no-cost options for youth who reside in Section 8 households and for those participating in our Summer Learning Labs programming. We anticipate that this initiative will positively contribute to our members' emotional well-being, their success as students and lifelong learners, and their overall enjoyment of the summer camp experience, giving working parents and caregivers the peace of mind associated with knowing their child has a safe place to play, learn, and grow when they need to be at their jobs or attend school. Thank you for investing in our local youth through your support of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington over the years and for your consideration of our request today.
Thank you.
Please speaking.
Hello, my name is Darby, and we are here with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Big Brothers Big Sisters is requesting support to bring our Big and Little Adventure Connected project to Monroe County. This is a $35,000 project that would expand our mentoring tool that we've already seen work successfully in Jefferson County through our Mentor Up initiative. This project includes an enhanced printed adventure book for bigs and littles, which we're passing around for you all to see. I dropped the pen, to use together during their first year, along with a digital companion that will support ongoing connection among youth, mentors, caregivers, schools, and our staff. The book gives each match a shared starting point with guided activities, conversation prompts about school, friendships, feelings, goals, and everyday life. The digital companion adds secure check-ins, goal tracking, messaging, and stronger communication so we can support our youth more consistently. This matters because year to date, our agency has served 504 individuals through matches across our service region, but we currently have 200 individuals on our wait list. As the school year ends and summer begins, we expect enrollments and referrals to increase, which will likely grow that wait list even more. This project will help us better support our current and incoming participants by strengthening relationships, improving communication, and giving families a clearer view of their child's mentoring experience. Overall, the budget will cover book refinement and production, app development, first-year hosting and maintenance, mentor and family training, and evaluation. Support from the grant would help us to fully launch this work in Monroe County and ensure our youth have access to these mentoring experiences that are intentional, connective, and supportive. I've brought Christina here, a member of our team, and she'll share a few words about her own experience as a big in our site-based program and how she believes this project could benefit our matches.
Hi, I'm Christina Keller, and I'm with Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Indiana. I started working for the agency in January of 2025, and not long after that, I became a big. It's truly been one of the most meaningful things I've ever done. My little Rhea, she's an only child, and her father's often out of the country. So she's super energetic, she's fun, she loves doing crafts, and she loves K-pop demon hunters, which I've learned way more about than I ever thought I would. I usually visit Rhea during my lunch break, and we get an hour together every week. That's why I'm real excited about this grant. This adventure book will give us like guided activities, keep our time intentional, and just make the most out of our time together. So I believe it'll help deepen our connection and make every visit really count. So thank you so much for considering us for this grant.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Wyatt Swanson, and I'm here tonight representing the Auxiliary to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington. Thank you for having me. The Auxiliary to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization with a mission to help foster a safe and positive environment for our local youth. The Auxiliary has been quietly working behind the scenes for over 50 years to make a difference in the lives of children and their families, providing weekly meals at the Crestmont Club and supporting club events like Thanksgiving dinner, awards night, spring fling, and holiday market are on our annual agenda. According to Feeding America, 1 in 5 children in the U.S. are going hungry. Research shows that children experiencing hunger are more likely to have trouble focusing and learning, have increased health issues, and are developmentally impacted. To help combat hunger in Bloomington, members of the Auxiliary prepare and serve a hot meal every Friday of the school year to the children at the Steve and Connie Ferguson Crestmont Club, which is the Bloomington club with the highest number of families with a household income less than $40,000. Throughout 36 weeks, approximately 3,600 children go home impacted for the weekend by the Crestmont Special Snack. Though it is referred to as a snack, we ensure it includes a hot protein and nutritious sides, including fresh fruits and vegetables, and we strive to provide enough food so that leftovers can be taken home by club members, 80 to 120 of whom are served every Friday after school. Each auxiliary volunteer is responsible for preparing and purchasing the food items that we serve. We allow $400 in reimbursement for each meal, but many volunteers spend their own money in order to relieve stress on our limited budget as food prices continue to increase. Our weekly Crestmont Special Snack provides reliable nutritional benefits to some of our most vulnerable young people. We are requesting $2,000, which would fund approximately 5 weeks of meals through the purchase of groceries, prepared foods, and serving supplies. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Taller microphone. Hi. Hi, my name is Danielle Long, and I'm the production manager and social media manager and a performer in Reimagining Opera for Kids, also known as ROCK, which is a nonprofit community arts and education organization based in Bloomington, Indiana. We will be having our 20th anniversary this coming year. So since 2007, ROCK has been introducing children in the Bloomington community to opera through engaging first experiences. ROCK operas are specially commissioned, composed, and designed to appeal to young audiences and have been enthusiastically received in many of our area elementary, middle, and high schools, as well as public libraries, homeschool groups, hospitals, care facilities, and community centers. You name it, we've sung there. So we are asking the Sophia Travis Grant Commission to award $1,000 to help us with costs for our 2027 production, which will all be in Spanish with English narration. It's a great way to introduce kids to live music performance and another language as well. There's a lot of dual curriculums in Spanish in the area, and we would like to help out with that. So Reimagining Opera for Kids is very special to me personally as a professional opera singer. It has given me so much confidence. I suffered from extreme performance anxiety before I sang with this group. And once I started singing with this group, I realized there's no time to be scared when you're singing for 200 screaming children in a gymnasium. It's also incredibly special to see children realize what music can be for the very first time. We specialize in, well, all of our performances are free. They are all completely free because accessibility is our main tenet. And so we specialize in serving underserved rural populations. We've been to Monroe County, obviously here, but we've also been to Davies County, Shelby County, Owen County, Spencer County, and Orange County as well this year. We collaborate with the IU Center for Rural Engagement as well. So we really try to make sure we reach as many people as we can. We've reached about 7,000 students this year, and we've had 30 performances. 2 years ago, we only had 9 performances, so we're growing a lot. And we also only had about 6 performers 2 years ago, and during my tenure, we have grown our roster to 40 performers. So, and it's all volunteer-based. We are all giving our time for this. But yeah, it's just very special to see a child who otherwise might not have had access to any kind of classical music tradition or live music at all realize what music can be when they sing and dance with us, and when they hear something like a violin or a string bass play. And it's a great way to engage students who otherwise might not be engaged in school. I can't tell you the number of times I brought up a student who seemed uninterested and made them dance with me. And it sticks with them. They recognize all of us in grocery stores and libraries around the community. Anywhere we go, kids recognize us and they remember. So it's really impactful for them, and it's really special to see them start to love music for the first time. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody that came in late from Catholic Charities? Oh, okay. How about Center for Sustainability? Center for Sustainable Living.
Hello, my name is Evie Barbeau, and today I'm here representing Partisan Gardens Greenhouse, which is a community high tunnel underneath the Center for Sustainable Living framework. So we are a high tunnel and growing space in the Waterman neighborhood, which is one of the historically underrepresented or underserved neighborhoods in Bloomington. It's where I live. And we are working on our 3rd season of growing. All of our food that we produce is distributed for free, primarily in the neighborhood. We work with other organizations in the neighborhood. We work with our neighbors. So last year we produced over hundreds of pounds of produce using socially and ecologically responsible practices. And we are 100% volunteer run. So this is an opportunity for folks who have a little bit more growing experience to come to the space, but also to bring in a lot of our neighbors and folks who don't have any experience growing their own food, to learn how to, cultivate the soil, grow food for themselves in their own neighborhood. One thing that's been incredible for me as someone who lives in that neighborhood and cultivates that space is the incredible demand of my neighbors. Every time I walk out, like this spring, one of my neighbors, whether they're a kid or an older folk, come up to me and they're like, "What are you growing this year?" And I jot that down. I ask them what they want to see grown, and I make sure that we're growing plenty of that. So for a space that is very low income with no access to public space or green space, as well as high levels of food insecurity, and many children and older folks with disability and mobility limitations, this space can be a space to gather, meet one another, and learn together, as well as cultivate food security and real food sovereignty from grassroots, true grassroots sources. So we are coming to Sophia Travis to request funding for 2 main projects that are focused on increasing accessibility to the space, as well as making sure that it is safe and healthy for everybody involved. So first is soil testing. 3 years ago, we did some preliminary soil tests, but We're seeking funds for PCB testing because of proximity to potential contamination sites. We've been trying to mitigate that with bringing in soil, but we need help. It's cost prohibitive to do that testing. And then second is installing safety features around the remnant basement on the site. So making sure that we can start bringing in more organizations, more folks, more young kids, making sure that that space is safe for them. So I'm really excited about what investing in these two specific projects will do for collaboration, bringing more people into the space and hosting cultural events and just having that beauty in that neighborhood. So thank you.
Thank you. Have anybody from PALS?
Lots of tall people here tonight. So my name is Christine Herring. I'm the executive director of PALS, and for many of you, I'm sure you heard last year, we were hit by a devastating tornado. And I'm very pleased to announce we are 1 month away from opening our state-of-the-art facility. It will increase accessibility and we'll be able to double the number of people we serve in the community. So I just wanted to share that. At PALS, we believe every young person deserves the opportunity to discover their strengths, build confidence, and see a future of possibility. That belief is the foundation of Stable Futures, our new after-school workforce and skill development program. This program was created after identifying a critical need through our partnership with JDAI-affiliated Equipped Programming, which is a youth program we have here in the county. We saw youth who needed more than supervision after school. They needed structure, mentorship, encouragement, and meaningful opportunities to succeed. We even have mentorships for youth interested in becoming instructors. Stable Futures will serve Monroe County youth referred, these are high school students, referred by school counselors, particularly students facing academic, social, emotional, or engagement challenges. 3 afternoons each week, students will be transported to PALS for homework support, mentorship, and hands-on workforce experience in areas such as agriculture, equine care, education, business operations, and event planning. What makes this program unique is the environment. Through experiential learning alongside horses and caring adults, youth will build responsibility, communication skills, teamwork, confidence, and job readiness in a safe and supportive setting. Our goal is not to simply provide after-school care. Our goal is to help young people build a stable future for themselves. With a total pilot cost of just $7,500, this program has the potential to create lasting impact for approximately 30 Monroe County youth and their families. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. What about Heal Hands? Nope. Okay. Cancer Support Community Center? Okay.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Shelton with Cancer Support Community. For those of you who don't know, we're a nonprofit that provides free support and resources to anyone impacted by cancer. I like to remind folks that this also includes family members, caregivers, friends, not just patients and survivors. So please tell everyone you know that we are here to help. One of the main things that I wanted to talk to you about today, in our application, we're requesting funds for what we call our Patient Assistance Fund. This is one of our most critical support programs, and it is direct, immediate financial assistance and relief in the categories of food and transportation, specifically for cancer patients who are in active treatment cycles and who qualify to meet 300% or below of federal poverty income. I'm sure we've all felt the impact of the increases in gas cost and food recently. I feel like I've been repeating this for the last 2 to 3 years. The point being, this is not going away. So as long as we can, we want to provide $150 of immediate gift cards in food or transportation per the patient's request to help ease that burden so that they can get the healthy, nutritious food that they need, and they can get back and forth to their treatments and other appointments and screenings and things like that during that most critical time of their health medical treatments. I think that we can all relate to someone who's had cancer and been through that. We do offer other programs such as counseling, support groups, nutrition and exercise classes, professional education presentations in partnership with physicians in the IU School of Medicine, and social connections. This immediate financial relief bridges that gap towards that healthy outcome. One of the things that has come up a lot lately in research is financial toxicity. This refers to patients who have to make decisions between, getting their treatment and putting food on the table for their family, or purchasing their medications for their treatments. So you're more likely to see patients who are stretching their medication out to make it last longer, or skipping screenings and health appointments just to try to get by. This program helps ease that burden and solve some of those things for people, which then results in better actual health outcomes. So it's not just about that immediate, it's about the long-term gain too. Like to just end right there. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer, but we're grateful and for your consideration and any support that you're willing to offer. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Wyatt Lawson. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Justice and Mediation Center, or CJAM. CJAM just celebrated our 30 years in Monroe County this past year, so we've been serving in mediation services, restorative justice, and education in Monroe County for over 30 years, which is exciting. But at the ground basis of what we do is we deal in conflict. So we help folks through hard situations. We help folks learn how to handle conflict better, how to be mediators, just kind of how to focus on building a more fair community that learns from hard situations instead of raises them to things that can result in court time or loss or whatever that may be. In 2019, we started our work within the Eviction Prevention Project, which is a group of nonprofits in the court systems that help people who are facing a housing crisis kind of work through the court side of that. So we entered that in 2019 and are still participating in that program. And actually about 80% of the clients that we see yearly are a landlord-tenant relationship. So it really is kind of the pinnacle of what we are doing. We're helping folks figure out a better way forward as they're facing some type of housing case. So last year we served over 500 Monroe County residents through our eviction prevention work and our eviction mediation services. And people are often dealing with a lot of different things in that space, housing instability being the first one, but it often results in a communication breakdown or something that's happened in their personal life that they're having a hard time navigating, whether resources or working with their specific landlords. So in mediation, or what we do within that space, is anyone who is facing an initial eviction hearing gets the opportunity to do two very specific things before they talk to the judge. They get the opportunity to speak to a free a lawyer, attorney that provides free limited scope legal advice, and then they have the opportunity to mediate their case before it goes to the judge. And of course, that's when CJAM kind of hops in. So for anyone facing that initial eviction, we get an opportunity to slow things down just a little bit and help them have a dialogue between their landlord and the tenant, ask questions about what's going on, what are some reasonable solutions moving forward, maybe what some of those barriers are. And what we tend to see is folks working on maybe it's past due rent and figuring out a way to pay that back in a timeline that works for their landlord, but also is realistic for them. Sometimes it means a voluntary vacate, which is them voluntarily leaving the unit that they're renting and avoids an eviction, so it makes things easier for them. And at the pinnacle, it's just us slowing things down. And this grant specifically is going to help us support the people who make that work happen, which is our volunteers. All of our mediations are served by volunteers, and this allows us to invest in not only the training, but the recruitment and retention of those volunteers. So whether that's speeding up that process or looking in other spaces. So I appreciate the opportunity to share that with you all this evening, and thank you for the consideration.
Thank you.
Hello again. Let's move this way down. Hi, I, again, am Megan Betts, CEO at Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, also known as The Hub. Thank you, Council, for investing in social services in our community and for hearing from me twice this evening. The Hub is a community food resource center that increases access to nutritious food in ways that cultivate dignity, agency, and community. While I have often come to this room to seek support for components of our pantry program, and while we are best known for operating among the largest pantries in our region, I am here this evening requesting support for our programs that wrap around our pantry, ensuring that we are a place where individuals can build skills, confidence, and relationships to thrive in community. This year, the Hub is requesting just over $8,000 that would be used to purchase supplies needed for our free kitchen programs. These supplies include groceries, team building supplies like food-themed games, Spanish translation of our promotional materials and handouts, and more glass mason jars than you would probably ever suspect. In 2025, our pantry served just under 117,000 duplicated individuals, a double-digit increase over individuals served in 2024. While the number of individuals we serve rises, some things are constant. Our patrons are clear that they do not need to be taught how or what to eat. They are resource constrained in time and kitchen equipment, but often not in knowledge. They want to learn from each other in the kitchen to grow relationships, find joy, and play with new ideas and recipes. They are curious, enthusiastic eaters and adventurous cooks. That is why so many of our workshops are taught by members of our community. Each month, we host at least 4 free hands-on educational workshops in our kitchen classroom. Topics are identified by community members as they share what they would like to learn or what skills they have to contribute. We enjoy a range of one-off workshops like cake pops, easy casseroles, and Venezuelan empanadas, but also series of workshops like Wanda's introduction to Southern cooking. So far, Wanda has taught us things like corn pone, hot water cornbread, and homemade barbecue sauce. Our most popular recurring series are workshops on canning, food preservation, and fermentation, which takes the form of sourdough or kombucha or yogurt. We're thankful that separate funding enables us to pay our educators $100 per 90-minute workshop. Your support would ensure these workshops are stocked with adequate supplies for all individuals to join in, and the supplies for them to take home starter to continue making their own yogurt, sourdough, or kombucha. Thank you for working with us to build community food security and for doing it in a way that equally cultivates joy and connection. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Gina Lovell. I'm the Administrative Director for Amethyst House, a Bloomington-based nonprofit agency that serves individuals with substance abuse disorders, and we've been in the community since 1980. Our services include residential and outpatient treatment, emphasizing a foundation towards recovery. We have 2 residential locations here in Monroe County, one for men and one for women. This year we're requesting $8,000, which will cover 15% of our residential food budget for both houses. We provide 3 meals a day for up to 31 residents at any one time, 365 days a year. Nutritious meals are a cornerstone of recovery, enhancing both mental and physical health. Every resident in our care receives 3 healthy meals each day during their 90-day stay, ensuring that they can focus on healing without the stress of food insecurity. The current daily average costs is $81 for the men's house and $60 at the women's house for a total of $141 per day. This is approximately 5% increase from last year's costs. Like many of us in Monroe County, we have felt firsthand how the dollar doesn't go as far in the grocery store these days. We receive additional supplements from our friends at Hoosier Hills Food Bank and funding from the Division of Mental Health and Addiction. The requested cost of $8,000 will stabilize our budget during this period of rising costs. Our goals align with the Sophia Travis Grant's vision of health, food, nutrition, security, and shelter. We want the utmost quality for our residents to enrich Monroe County community members through a transitional period in their lives. Covering food costs through this grant will help us keep residential fees affordable while still providing the highest quality care and nourishment to those working hard to transform their lives. On behalf of Amethyst House, thank you for considering this request and supporting the well-being of our community members. Thank you.
Thank you. To Middle Way, Pantry 279. I think I saw closet, so my sister's closet is up next.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Keller. I'm the Executive Director of My Sister's Closet in Monroe County. We provide resources and tools and training for women who are hoping to become more self-sufficient and eventually move out of poverty. To date, we have served over 4,000 community residents, and 85% of those women report that they've been able to find better employment with benefits while going through our programming, such as our financial wellness programming that Sophia Travis has invested in, that has been very successful for us. We are asking for funds to complete our security and safety system that will be at our new location at 1204 West 2nd Street. We anticipate that we'll start the renovation on this project in August of this year, and we will use these funds to be able to complete the remaining things that we will need to have, such as a motion detector system, a doorbell where we can see who is on the other side. It'll be a course in security, 24 months worth of monitoring services for the building. And also we will be replacing the commercial door locks that are on the building right now. Because our space is going to be used by both women and their children, and some of our workshops will be happening in the evening, this is extremely important for them to feel safe in our space. We have several people that come into our organization, not just as clients, which is generally about $250 a year, but we also have several volunteers, over $450 a year, and several community members that come in to use My Sister's Closet as an alternative to supplement their clothing resources and their professional clothing. In our application last year, we said that over 200 people who would be in the community besides our clients would be benefiting from this, but actually that was incorrect. Traffic studies are informing us that more than likely 38,000 people will come into our space in a given year, so a lot of people will be benefiting from the security system. My Sister's Closet is extremely grateful for the opportunity to be able to present the night tonight and for the funds that we received from the Sophia Travis grant in the past, and we're very grateful for your help. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. How about Bloomington? Okay, so next up is Bloomington Cooperative Living, followed by Wonder Lab.
Hi there, my name's Annalise Kane, and I'm the membership coordinator from BCL. Let me just pull up my, all right. So BCL is a housing co-op in Bloomington with 5 houses with 75 units of housing. We are democratically owned, governed, and operated by our member residents. BCL focuses on communal living for low-income residents. We are in the process of acquiring a new property which will add 10 additional units in the coming years. The City of Bloomington's consolidated plan showed that there is a gap of 7,000 housing units for household earnings 0 to 50% AMI in Bloomington. BCL is a small but growing solution to Bloomington's housing affordability issues. Our model provides low-income residents with dignity, autonomy, affordability, and social community. And this model is a permanent solution for deep affordability. BCL is outside of market forces, and due to democratic control by members, will never become unaffordable. So, outreach in BCL. Thus far, BCL has conducted outreach via word of mouth, flyering, and tabling. These efforts have served us well as we have grown slowly over the years, but relying on these forms of outreach are not best practice. These forms of outreach limit us to adding new members from the social groups of the current membership of BCL. We know that this does not spread the word about housing opportunities at BCL amongst all low-income Bloomington residents, so we need to use forms of outreach that cut across social networks. Digital outreach can do just that by advertising cooperative housing to all low-income Bloomington residents. So BCL is requesting $1,500 in funding to purchase digital ads for the 27-28 membershiping season, which would last from March to May of 2027. This funding would complement a request for funding from the City of Bloomington Jack Hopkins grant program, which, if fully funded, would provide $3,000 for digital advertisement management services and $3,500 for digital advertising. The $1,500 from Sophia Travis would increase the impact of the digital advertisements without increasing the cost in advertisement management services. These ads would inform residents of Monroe County that cooperative housing is an alternative that is affordable. Let's see. This is a one-time ad spend, but it will have a lasting impact on the community and BCL. By filling rooms in BCL, this ad spend will increase BCL's internal labor capacity as well as our rental revenue. This increase in our resources can support further outreach in future years. The ad spend will also advertise cooperative housing as an alternative, connecting with the many other cooperative housing projects in Bloomington. Due to BCL's collaborative nature, the impact of this ad spend can stretch beyond BCL itself and to other housing projects in the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Leslie Kosenko, and I'm the Director of Philanthropy for Wonder Lab. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you tonight. I'd like to start with a story about a person who grew up through Wonder Lab. Quote, I was a teenage volunteer when I was on the square in the early 2000s and later joined as a member, as a parent with my son when he was 2. He ended up being a Wonder Camper, and now he hopes to be a herpetologist. We now have a crested gecko that he adores. I've been bringing him to Wonder Lab even longer. He loves the Thanksgiving dinosaur events. My younger son, who has been a member since birth, grew up in Sprouts Place. While this is a lovely story and it shows the impact of Wonder Lab, not every family can afford the luxury of attending Wonder Lab and paying the admission cost, and that's why I'm here to speak to you today. Wonder Lab is seeking support for social service visits from, believe it or not, 11 of the people that spoke here tonight and 13 more social service agencies. We provide free admission and free group visits depending on what organization that you are. Not every family has the opportunity to come to Wonder Lab, but as part of our Connecting to the Community Fund, which we call the C2C Fund, this ensures that every single child that can have access to Wonder Lab, regardless of your income, regardless of your background. We provide free group visits and admission for qualifying, and we do have a strict qualifying process. It's whether you're on Medicaid, on SNAP, on free school lunch. There is a strict policy for how that we qualify these organizations. But in every case, the goal is the same: to make science accessible, welcoming, and meaningful for all. The request matters because access to informal STEM is not for every child. Not every child is receiving access to STEM. Many of the families served by local social service agencies are facing economic challenges, and some children growing up don't have the regular opportunities to explore science in engaging ways. We believe that this should not stand in the way of a child's chance to explore. So we are here until we financially cannot to provide camp scholarships and free access for people that deserve it. Wonder Lab serves a community where the need is real and growing. In Monroe County, almost 15% of kids under the age of 18 live in poverty. The number is even higher for kids under age 5. Wonder Lab serves kids up to age 12 for the most part, with nearly 40% of Wonder Lab's visitors and members saying that they visit our museum to supplement their STEM education. Now, this may not seem like a lot, but $9,000 actually serves almost 900 children. This is a huge amount of kids for Monroe County. We're also applying for the Jack Hopkins grant, and with both of these two grants, we can get to the total of $20,000 for kids to access Wonder Lab. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gavin Everett, and I am the CEO of Community Culture, a local nonprofit focused on improving food accessibility through community agriculture, partnerships, and volunteer-driven growing spaces. Over the past year, Community Culture has continued building partnerships with local organizations and nonprofits, including the Community Kitchen of Monroe County, Pantry 279, Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, to help grow and donate fresh produce directly back into our community. One of our largest projects is Bob's Garden, a 7,500 square foot donated garden space that is being developed into a long-term food oasis for Monroe County. Last year, with support from the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant Program, Community Culture was able to begin the foundational infrastructure for this site through the installation of raised garden beds. That investment helped us move this project from an idea into a functioning and growing community space. Since then, we've continued developing the site through volunteer work days, large-scale mulching and soil preparation, and expanded community involvement. We've had volunteers come together to help transform the property into a productive growing space that will support local food nonprofits for years to come. This year, we are seeking funding of $4,800 to help complete the next phase of development at Bob's Garden. The primary focus of this phase is the construction of an open-air educational shelter, a rainwater collection system utilizing IBC water storage totes, and the development of a composting area to support long-term soil health and sustainability. This infrastructure serves several important purposes. The shelter will provide a gathering and educational space for volunteers and community members, while also offering protection during work days and programming. The rainwater collection system will improve sustainability by reducing dependence on municipal water during the growing season. And the composting area will help divert organic material from existing waste systems while creating nutrient-rich compost that can be returned directly back into the food production at the site. Together, these systems help create a more environmentally responsible and self-sustaining model for community agriculture. Importantly, this project continues to rely heavily on volunteer labor, donated materials, and community partnerships, allowing us to maximize the impact of every dollar received. The long-term goal of Bob's Garden is not simply to grow food, but to create a replicable model for community-supported agriculture that reduces barriers to fresh produce while strengthening local connections. Every improvement we make increases our ability to consistently grow and donate healthy food directly back into our community free of charge. We look to demonstrate how small-scale community agriculture can simultaneously support food access, environmental sustainability, and stronger local partnerships. We are incredibly grateful for the support this committee has already shown Community Culture. Your previous help turned an empty space into an active growing site, and the next phase helps us ensure the lasting community resource for many years to come. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Anybody from First Presbyterian Church? Oh, I see you walking. Hello.
Hello, my name is Dan Caldwell, and this is Annette Briggs-Hill, and we are with the Bloomington Severe Winter Emergency Shelter, which is a joint ministry of a number of downtown churches, including First Presbyterian Church, which is our sponsoring organization for this grant. Our mission is to provide a warm, safe place to sleep for people who might not have any shelter during severe winter weather. We serve the most vulnerable members of our community, by being welcoming, compassionate, and treating every guest with dignity and respect. We are a low barrier shelter, yet we prioritize safety for our guests and our volunteers. While our main goal is providing shelter, we know that if we can make people more comfortable, they're more likely to use our shelter and less likely to risk sleeping in the cold. So we offer warm beverages, snacks, frequently warm meals. We always make sure to have plenty of cup of soup on hand, as well as warm winter gear, socks, hats, gloves, hand warmers, clean clothing, all for the purpose of keeping people safe so we can prevent cold weather injuries and death, which we have been successful in doing for the last 2 winters that we've been open. We, as we're called, is able to provide a safe and comfortable shelter experience for our guests at an extremely cost-effective rate because we are a volunteer-driven and donation-supported organization. This past season, we were able to open the shelter 57 nights when the weather got cold enough, and that serves 34 guests each night. We served a total of 256 unique guests this past winter. We were able to do this because we had 230 unique volunteers who volunteered around 4,000 total hours this past winter. We also had 2 paid staff coordinators, but again, 80% of all hours worked were volunteer hours. We were also able to do this because of the generosity of First Christian Church, First United Methodist Church, and First Presbyterian Church, who donated their spaces, and Wheeler Mission was generous enough to donate laundry services. And this means that what would have otherwise cost over $60 per night per guest cost us around $11 per night per guest. And so Annette will take it from here.
Just for our last minute, I want to just emphasize that our entire financial budget is devoted to the purchase of supplies and for paying 2 part-time workers who are trained in shelter supervision, and they provide continuity of care to our guests and train support to our army of volunteers. Our youngest volunteers are about 10 years old, and the oldest are in their 80s. They are church people, community members, IU professors, students, doctors, lawyers, and stay-at-home parents. Because of their dedication, again, as far as we know, nobody died of cold weather exposure in Bloomington over the last 2 years since we've been open. We consider it a privilege to be part of this life-saving work, and we're here to ask for financial partnership in making that true for another winter season. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Next up, El Centro Criminal.
Thank you for having me today. Well, El Centro Comunal Latino is a grassroots, community-based, nonprofit organization dedicated to serving Latino residents in Monroe County. The organization provides an accessible and culturally responsive space where community members, particularly Spanish-speaking individuals, can obtain information, access to critical resources, and participate in community events. El Centro also works to improve communication and collaboration between service providers and the Latino community. So of these efforts, the organization supports community integration, reduces barriers to services, and encourages meaningful civic engagement with the broader Bloomington and Monroe community. Latino residents in Monroe County face significant financial challenges driven by the rising cost of living, a lack of affordable housing, and inconsistent employment opportunities. Many jobs, or most of jobs for our community, are in food service, maintenance, cleaning, construction, and temporary labor. They are low-paying and often depend on the academic calendar and seasonal workforce demands tied to the university. So this is going to be a hard season for us, summer and all the breaks. Although most community members are hardworking and dependable, fluctuation in work hours and income make it difficult to consistently cover rent and utility costs. During periods of reduced employment, families are disproportionately affected and many face eviction, utility shut-offs, and housing instability. These challenges place a stress on our families disrupt children's education, and limit opportunities for long-term economic advance. This grant will support a rental and utility system program designed to provide short-term financial relief to Latino households in Monroe County experiencing temporary economic hardship. One of the things that I really enjoyed to hear was about the project of Wonder Lab. That is one of the things that our community members or families miss to have access because they can't afford to pay for places like that. Now you have to prioritize the rent, the utilities, and even when we can help a community with no high amount, it's very helpful for our community to have just a partial payment of this rent. Thank you for having me here today and for considering our proposal for this grant.
Thank you. Next up is Sobremesa.
Good evening. Thank you to the Sophia Travis Grant Committee for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. My name is Robert Frew, and I represent the Sober Mesa Foundation and the Incubator Project at the new Daisy Garden Community Farm. Over the past several years, we have demonstrated that underutilized land can be transformed into productive farmland that nourishes both people and the community around us. We started Sober Mesa Farm in 2013, and what was once a pasture that was depleted is now actively producing thousands of pounds of healthy food for local families. We know how to build soil, grow food, organize volunteers, and create meaningful agricultural education. Now we're bringing that same experience and momentum to Daisy Garden Community Farm. This project is really more about growing vegetables and fruit. It's about creating pathways for people to learn practical skills, participate in the local food system, and contribute to their community in meaningful ways. Some of the same individuals and families who currently rely on food pantries are now learning how to grow food, preserve harvest, and participate in an act of reciprocity instead of dependency. Already we have tilled land, built raised beds, started seedlings, planted, and launched educational programming. We are teaching people skills that can support future employment, entrepreneurship, and food security. The equipment that we are requesting tonight in the grant will help us to take the next step in building a truly sustainable food project. Specifically, we are seeking support for commercial dehydrating and freeze-drying equipment, packaging supplies, a farm stand, tent, tables, chairs, and food preparation equipment. These tools will allow us to create shelf-stable, value-added products from the produce we grow, reducing waste, extending food availability, and creating potential income streams for the project and the participating growers. This is about building something unique for the city of Bloomington, a farm incubator that combines agriculture, education, food preservation, entrepreneurship, and community engagement in one space. With your support, Daisy Garden Community Farm can become a long-term community asset that not only feeds people, but teaches them how to feed themselves and others for years to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do you have any ready for, okay, new vote for families?
All right. Hello, my name's Chase Teckington. I work in New Hope for Families. I'll be your closer this evening, and I'll be brief because I know you're running us over. As y'all are aware, our community has a lack of affordable childcare, a lack of affordable housing. Put together, families with children, especially children too young to be latchkey kids, struggle to find decent, affordable childcare that lets them work enough hours to afford rent and the other things that their families need. Today in Monroe County, anywhere between 30 and 40% of the individuals who are experiencing homelessness, sleeping outside or in shelter, are members of a household with children. And I think those two statistics speak to the way these two issues are intertwined. Families in our community need childcare so they can work and keep their housing. And when childcare is missing, we see people lose the other two. They lose their income and housing. Families in our overnight shelter do three simple things. They find childcare, they find income, and they move into a place to live. All year long, we address the need for childcare for kids birth to 5 through our Early Learning Center. But then every summer, when school is out, we have a 10-week gap where families have an acute need for that childcare. And by the time they get to shelter, they're going through a pretty big crisis. It's too late to enroll in the full day camps that would provide the hours that they need. And people really struggle to piece together or afford the other childcare options that are out there. That's why for 5 years, New Hope has hosted a free day-long summer camp for families in shelter who are working. Last year, one family came, dad worked nights, mom worked days. When summer came and school was out, they faced that hard choice. Could mom keep working, or are they gonna lose half their income and stay in shelter longer? But they enrolled in summer camp. They moved out into a lease just a few weeks later. Summer camp is pretty straightforward. We employ 3 staffers. They run camp Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30. Children 6 to 17 can enroll. It's usually a little younger group. The teens are too cool for it, but kids get 2 meals a day and a snack to compensate for the gap in school lunch for the summer, which is a big boost for the families. And they spend the day telling the counselors where they want to go next. We have great partners for these experiences like Community Kitchen providing food, Wonder Lab, as you already heard about, City Parks and Pools, all offering great experiences for kids all summer long. And Sophia Travis funds will cover the team leader's salary as well as the food, admission, supply costs for the camp, for the experiences that the campers are gonna have. The other 2 counselors are covered by a different private grant. Every year, our community comes around and through the generosity of our whole community in our county, they come around homelessness and childcare with generosity and vision. Thanks to that, New Hope houses more than 82% of families into leases compared to a state average of just 32%, and no child sleeps outside in our community. So thank you guys for your continued support.
Thank you. Well, that concludes all of our presentations, and I'm gonna look to Michelle, because it looks like we have our scoring card sheets that are in front of us. So Michelle, what would you like to tell us about our scoring sheets?
I just wanted to bring to your attention, we kind of revamped it a little bit, so it's there was some difficulties that we went through last year with the formulas. So we have gone through, tweaked the information, and so you will the beginning of this information is the same. So you know it's the agency, the project cost. So what I want to bring your attention to is this section right here. It's the proposed committee awards. What I need for you to make sure is when you assign an amount, and we'll just do Councilor Crossley here. You can just type in, we're just gonna say $500. And then when you send that to us, we're going to put those amounts in. I just need you to know that if maybe Ms. Robertson might not want to give, don't leave it blank. It has to have at least a 0 in it. And that is because when we go over here to this max and the minimum, the formula is set up to average over 5 totals, not 4. So when you leave it blank, it's still out there looking for it. So I need that to be filled in. Also at the bottom, there was a problem with the formulas, and we've got that working out. So what you're looking for is, let's just say, the 190,000. You want to see a green dot down here. So you have used up that whole 190 and that it is green. If you overspend, so it's going to throw it, you've spent too much, you know, kind of thing. So just make sure that you're checking your bottom totals. I know that some people didn't complete the entire amount, and then during the meeting, you know, you kind of tweaked your totals. But if you go ahead and assign an amount, even if it's a 0, then we can always tweak that during the live meeting. And then there was a lot of confusion with some of the rounding and things that happened last year. There was an additional formula within this, so we kind of removed that, and then there was something funky going on here. So what we can do then is, this is being averaged to the nearest $10, and so like if somebody puts in 230, you know, it's going to round it. So here the average is 243, 240, and if that's what the committee decides, we are going to input 240. So whatever the committee decides at the end is going to, in this column here, the green column, is what will be recommended to the. So I think I've got all the formulas worked out and everything tweaked out for you. So, but if there's any questions, don't hesitate to give me or Lehu a call. But, and I know, you know, Miss Katie here, this is your first time, so yeah, feel free to call if something just kind of looks.
This is active where can we access this?
I sent each one of you an individual copy for you to use, and then we need this sent in to us. What was that date, Lehua? The 20. Oh, I think. Yeah, I think it was the 21st. Yeah, so we need those by the 21st so that we can have all of that information for you by that council, or by that meeting on the 29th. No, we're having a meeting. I know. There's a committee meeting coming up. I just can't remember the date. Okay. And we will have all of that information together for you. And that's when we'll tweak this to what you want recommended.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle?
Okay, the meeting is the 29th at 1 o'clock. So that's all I needed. Okay. I just wanted to, you know, kind of quickly go over it, and then if anybody has any questions, give me a call, check your email. Okay. So should have all that information in your email.
Okay. And does anybody have, before we adjourn, does any committee members have any questions or comments after?
I'm excited again.
Yeah, yeah.
Great work.
Yeah.
I loved all the presentations. They were very informative, and it really helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes me proud to be living here.
You know, I was sitting here thinking about, like, I feel like we're back again in this lovely room because we were here last night.
Yes.
And so it's a stark contrast of last night. And honestly, like, a couple of times I kind of felt myself welling up just a little bit because of everything that's going on and what we think is going wrong. Community members showed up tonight and showed us what is happening and what we are doing right. So I really appreciated that. And I think I needed that for my soul today. So with that being said, I thank y'all so much. Thank you all for our community, for coming out. And we got some work to do, and we are adjourned. Thank you.